yeah, haircut to me just doesn't do it justice. To me, we truly do sculpt it, and it's so much more than just your length. It's truly like we're creating this shape for you. You know, the closest thing you can relate to probably is ceramics.
Yeah.
And how, you know, you don't just like mold it once and it be done. It takes this process of like really creating it into something that you want it to be this expected shape that you want it to be. So yeah, sculpting and painting, and it's funny because going back to when I was younger, I had this vision of becoming an artist. But when I put, you know, brush to paper and try to paint something, it was just never quite what I wanted it to be.
Sure.
So when I finally found this medium, that's when I was like, oh my God, I found my like craft. This is like the true canvas that I needed to be working on. And I really hope that we're able to elevate our industry to kind of command a little bit more respect moving forward, because I think it's still like fairly undermined.
Hearing you talk about sculpting and ceramics, I'd never made the connection when we think of like, you know, the big marble sculptures, you know, like they're starting with a big marble block.
Yep.
And they're taking away and that's exactly what a haircut is.
Yes, exactly. Like you said it better than I did. Yeah, so truly just like chipping away at it and you know, hair is not static. So you have to like actually move it around to see what it wants to do. So taking it through the stages of like starting out dry, getting it wet, getting it dry again, like it is a totally different beast once you're done. So it's really neat. Like, I don't know how I'm still enamored by it to this day, but here we are.
Yeah. I'll never forget when you like conquered my beard.
Oh man.
Like a couple months ago, you were like, I've done it. I finally figured it out, because it grows in like a weird way that doesn't make any sense.
Nobody's perfectly symmetrical. Nobody's perfectly balanced. So like figuring out those little details. And so for Tyler's beard, it just swooshes all to one side. So if we cut it all the same, it looks like this wonky, dilapidated beard. So you have to figure out like leaving it way longer on one side, even though if it feels wrong, it looks balanced. So it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's an artist's touch. Do you find other clients recognize this, or do you think people just still don't like think much about it?
No, I would definitely say that we help reveal things, and that brings that appreciation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, revealing things. It's like kind of what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that's always stood out to me when it comes to your business is how inclusive the language is that you use, especially when you describe your services. Like if you go to your website, which I'll have a link to in case anyone wants to fly to Lexington, Kentucky and get a haircut from you, which they should. Highly recommend it. But on your website, you use such beautiful, inclusive language to talk about what you do and what you provide people. I'm wondering about how your approach to inclusivity from a hospitality point of view. In what ways do you celebrate your clients?
Well, I think it comes back to the uniqueness, like really finding what's unique about everybody and choosing to highlight that as opposed to trying to cover it up. And I'm speaking not just about the hair, but even personality-wise, I feel like we have a way of communicating with people that is disarming and very warm and approachable and welcoming. Yeah, so I think it comes back to just communication is very, very, very important.
Yeah. What does growth and evolution look like as a stylist, in your opinion?
The number one thing that comes to mind is, this might sound harsh, but if you're done learning, you're dead. And that, to me, doesn't just apply to our industry, but just life in general. So for me, I think just always wanting to improve, like always looking for ways to do better and always keeping an open mind to like learn from others, keeping your eyes open for inspiration around you. It doesn't have to be hair. It can just be walking down the street and seeing the birds and the different colors and the feathers and how even leaves might move in a tree, like a beautiful willow, and how that just the breeze, how that affects the limbs and stuff like that. So I think just staying curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people say that on this podcast.
Ooh, okay.
And to hear even you say it is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I think for me personally, I'm most attracted to people who are curious people who want to dig deeper. And so now, now hearing you say that, it's like, well, no wonder we're friends.
Oh my gosh.
and that I like to come here, So yeah, that's awesome. How do you stay curious as a hairstylist? Like what kind of resources or research, or just by knowing you, I know recently, like you went to a conference and there's that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm just out of my own curiosity. What does that look like?
Well, definitely, I think travel is actually a very important component of staying inspired and just encouraging yourself to be uncomfortable. I think that discomfort is where growth happens. So traveling, inevitably, taking yourself out of your home base and seeing and feeling and smelling and hearing all new things around you, I think is the best way to kind of maintain curiosity.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Micromaker by Loose Leaf Transmissions. We hope you enjoyed this brief glimpse into the inner workings of the creative life. If this resonated with you, be sure to check out the full conversation on Music Maker with Tyler Kline, a podcast exploring craft and process, philosophy and inspiration, and the honest, often messy parts of being an artist, creative uncertainty, purpose and identity, and resilience. You can find Music Maker wherever you get your podcasts or by visiting musicmakerpodcast.com.